Hello, hello. Good Sunday morning, everybody. Our guest artist today is the wonderful Leah Zeger. So happy to have her with us.
Give me a little bit. One more time.
Please welcome to the Bema, Reverend Dr. Keith Cox.
Hear, hear. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
What a pleasure to have back in our presence Leah Zeger.
Yes.
Right? It's been a while. Happy to have you back. And the one and only Andy Belling on piano. And our dear, dear friend and soul brother here at CSL LA, Pete Orlanski. Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing? Good. I love that. Love that. So our objective and goal today is to take this energy that you just fed back to me of pureness and happiness and joy and clarity and a high vibration of consciousness, and have it spread, probably not the right word, but have it move, have it move beyond the walls of this sacred environment that we're in, out into the world that we live in, and with the intention of it to be healing. And so I invite you to know that for not only each of us in the room, but that everyone that we encounter on this journey over the next few days and weeks and possibly months that we're on, that healing is part of who and what we are. And what that means in our philosophy and faith and way in life is a higher consciousness that is revealing our divine nature. And so we're going to look at that more today. But I honor you for being here and for listening to the wisdom within that guided you here today to be a part of this service that we're having. I want to also take a moment and let's honor those who chose to not be here today, that are part of our community, both traditionally in this format as well as online. Let's say hello to those that are watching us online via Facebook and live stream. And hello, hello. Well, I don't know. We don't want them to come on down. We want them to stay right where they are and and live their very full life in the comforts of their own environment, whether that be just in the comforts of their own environment. Let's just honor that process. So, and let's also take this energy that we have and know that that will be the case for anyone who watches this service, either through our live stream or on YouTube or Facebook at a later date. That the energy that is coming out from us is one of healing, and that ripple effect touches everyone. So I'd like you to take a moment, and if you have electronic devices on you, to turn them off. So that they may not interrupt this beautiful environment that we're in, community that we're in today, unless you need them to sustain your life. And then please don't turn them off today, or don't turn them off, period. With that, I'm gonna be a little there today. It's been an interesting few days, and I promise you the tea I'm drinking does not have caffeine in it. So for those of you that know me, you're happy to hear that. So I'm gonna turn it back over to musicians to share with us another beautiful piece of music.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we see, no, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. Darling, won't you stand by me? If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. Well, darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Won't you stand by me? Oh, darling, won't you stand by me?
Beautiful. Beautiful, thank you. I have to share with all of you that we had a conversation whether or not to do that song, because I said that someone from our audience would scream out, "No, I'm not going to stand by you today." So that so often some of us take things so literally. So obviously, metaphorically, we say that together, right? One can look at that song as it's either stand by your brothers and sisters as we go through this time together in humanity, but also it can be the power and the presence of the divine saying, stand by me, right? Or which really is standing as me. Which leads me into why we come together on a Sunday morning here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Los Angeles, and on Thursday nights for really fun, intriguing, deep classes that we have here. But we come together to be in community, not just to be with each other, but to further our understanding and acceptance of who we are as a divine being. The vision statement for this ministry here is to support individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. What that means is that we're here to foster not only a greater awareness and acceptance of who we are as divine beings immersed in this human experience that we're having, but to know more and more that we are divine beings, that because we're also human beings, that we're always at choice. And we get to choose in life whether or not to reflect our divine nature, whose qualities are peace, power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom, or to not do that. And that even if we choose not to do that, because the nature of the universe is one of renewal at all times, and it's infinite and it's good by nature, that all that is required of us to have more of the experience of peace, power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom in our lives, if we desire to have that, is to stop, to align ourselves with those qualities that exist within us and let them rise up and express themselves. And so the year 2020, at least for the first quarter, which we're coming close to the end of that, I declared for us that the quality that we would focus on would be peace. And so when we light our candle today, we're going to continue to look at the concept of peace. Now, I'm going to throw it out there. If anyone's been shopping for toilet paper this week, peace may not have been your experience, right? But, you know, if you look at TP, it means to peace, right? So I said that on the fly. So let's continue to affirm that peace exists with us as we light our candle this morning. Peace not just in the sense of a state of inner calm, as it's traditionally defined, but peace as per the acronym that I like, which is purposeful energy activates conscious evolution. For myself over the last week, I've asked myself, am I stepping into conscious evolution in how I engage in the effects of the world? Am I stepping into conscious evolution in how I show up as an awake, conscious being in the world? And there have been many times I have, and there have certainly been times I haven't. But I know for all of us, the more and more that we focus on being the peace that we are innately, the more and more that we'll not only experience it, but send that out into the world as a ripple effect. So I'd like to invite our illuminator up for the day, one of our board members and great volunteers, and he's our coffee attendant today, serving you coffee, is Matt Fonda. And so there's a song we're going to sing that traditionally in these churches have been sung at the end of the service, but we like to sing it in the middle of this, and it says, "Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me." And I'm going to invite us today to play with those words a little bit. At Teen Camp, we used to always sing, "Yes, there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me." in an affirmation statement. So I'm going to invite you to do that if that feels comfortable for you today. If it doesn't, don't get attached. If somebody sings let and you sing I, let's all just sing together in unity, affirming peace together. Staying in this vibrational field of big energy that is also peaceful, I invite you to close your eyes and allow this energy to not only take root in each of our souls and our soul collectively, because the truth is there's only one soul, but as it's taking root, as it rises up in our awareness, we begin to see light. And that's the flickering flame of the light of the divine. And so as Matt lights the candle, the peace candle, we use the flickering flame of this candle to remind us that we have within us the light. No matter what's going on in the world, not only do we have it, but we have the opportunity to spread it, to use it, and to share it. We take this time right now to also honor the light in every other being, as we affirm for them that no matter where they are and what they're experiencing, that they become more aware of the light of the divine within them in this very moment. And should there be any feelings of chaos or disturbance or discord, peace rises up and makes itself known. And in closing, we honor the light of one of our beloved members, Michael Weedman, who passed away unexpectedly about 8 to 9 days ago. And letting his transformation, his transition, be a reminder to us of the fragility of life itself. And so we each choose right now to be more gentle with life, to be more kind with others, to be more compassionate with each other, and to engage and to extend our light always. Yes, there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me and you. And we say together, and so it is. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, guys. So if you're here for the first time, we're happy to have you here. And for those of you that are regulars, thank you for being here. And if you haven't been here a while, we've shifted our format up a little bit. So I'm going to move right into the message. I want to let you know that at the end of the message, We give you the opportunity in person to ask a question if you'd like that's related to the message that I've given or anything else, as well as anyone online that would like to ask. You can text that in through the message, through the page that you're watching on. And I'll do my best to answer those. I would just like to ask you up front to keep it to the question, because it's really hard if you want to tell your story prior to the question, because those online can't hear that, and we'll just stick to that. So I want to begin this morning for my message with a writing by Walt Whitman that we used in class Thursday night. And I think it's really appropriate for us right now to see things anew. And it's titled Miracles. And here it is. Why? Who makes so much of a miracle? As to me, I know of nothing else but miracles. Whether I walk the streets of Manhattan or dart my sight over the roofs of houses towards the sky, or wade with naked feet along the beach just in the edge of water, or stand under trees in the woods, or talk by day with anyone I love, or sleep in the bed at night with anyone I love, or sit at the table at dinner with the rest, or look at strangers opposite me riding in the car, or watch honeybees busy around the hive of a summer forenoon, or animals feeding in the fields, or birds, or the wonderfulness of insects in the air, or the wonderfulness of the sundown, or of the stars shining so quiet and bright, or the exquisite, delicate, thin curve of the new moon in spring. These with the rest, one and all, are to me miracles. The whole referring, yet each distinct and in its place. To me, every hour of the light and dark is a miracle. Every cubic inch of space is a miracle. Every square yard of the surface of the earth is spread with the same. Every foot of the interior swarms with the same. To me, the sea is a continual miracle. The fishes that swim, the rocks, the motions of the waves, the ships with men in them, what stranger miracles are there? I wanted to share that with us this morning because in these times, these very unique times that we're living in as we navigate life on human earth, it's important for us to remember and to be aware of our perspective of what's transpiring. I have another writing that I want to continue this vein with that we also used in class Thursday night. The title of the class Thursday night was Living as the Awakened Spiritual Being. Our class is titled The Mystical Nature of Cosmic Evolution, meaning that when we choose to live as a mystic, we are living life from the awakened perspective of oneness. That every single thing that we engage in is through the filter of oneness. And sometimes that requires looking at life from a multi-dimensional perspective while understanding there's still only one activity taking place. And here's the writing that gives us instruction, a continual instruction on how to do that. It's a good day for a good day. Each new day is a chance to practice changing your perspective. Practice talking to different people. Practice going to new places. Practice sifting through your day for the things that feel like you want to feel. Practice finding the best of the now. This is how you begin to create your life the way you want it to be, and you can start today. Now, obviously, based on this writing, we don't necessarily need to practice to go to new places physically on what's going on in the world. And we don't necessarily need to practice things that we necessarily want to feel in the external or talking to different people physically. But it is telling us to not go inward in this moment, even though we may choose to isolate ourselves, but to be conscious that we still have the capacity and the ability, and I believe the responsibility, to seek out an engagement with humanity in the best way that we can from the perspective of the mystical nature of being awake and alert to the oneness of life that is still transpiring in life, that is transcendent of the effect and the conditions that are taking place in the world. That we have within us the capacity to not only see things anew, but to rise up and be renewed and anew in how we see things in life. And then to choose to take those humanity in our world on the journey with us. To be kinder than we were before, to reach out to those that are in need and figure out a way to support each other, not only just from the perspective that we are reacting or responding to what has been deemed a crisis in our world, but from the perspective that we are consciously choosing to make a footprint, an imprint into the subconscious of humanity, so that what was then at one time in our life a ceiling of how we chose to live life to now be the foundation from how we engage with each other. In other words, to live life from the perspective of our vision statement of supporting individuals primarily starting with ourselves, finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. Today, more than ever, I want us to take a look at what does that mean for each of us to become more spiritually awake to who and what we are as a divine being. In our class also, there was a thing that I shared that says it's a message from Spirit, and I want to read it to us. And it says, try not to resist the ebb and flow of your awakening. There will be many ups and downs, and these are necessary for your journey to wholeness. Learn to love yourself during the periods of isolation and togetherness equally as they are both important for your soul's growth. Interesting, huh? That it tells us that on this journey, there may be physical moments of isolation, but certainly there are moments of personal feelings of isolation, of feeling lost, of feeling confused, but to know that it's all part of the journey of becoming more and more spiritually awake and becoming aware of how we choose to participate in our spiritual awakening and how we use our mind and our heart and our soul and our being during this time. And in so doing, we will become more self-empowered personally, which will take us into a new realm of consciousness, vibrationally speaking, if you will, in that evolution of consciousness, which will then give us the opportunity to know who we are as divine beings in a new way, letting that now be the foundation from who and what we are, and then become more personally self-empowered and continue that cycle of giving who and what we are to the world, while at the same time listening to our intuition, listening to the intelligence that's within us, listen to the wisdom that is imbued within us as to how we make choices for the good of humanity in the physical realm of the world. This was shared with me by a friend, a writing by Jack Kornfield, who is one of the co-authors of Chicken Soup to the Soul, relative to the times that we're living in, and I think it's great instructions. He says, with time at home, this is the time to develop more care and connection more deeply with humanity. This thing, it's not happening to us. It's happening for us. Feelings and emotions, like seeds when gardening, will tend and grow when you put more energy or water into them. Your fear, anxiety, and worry will grow if you continue to tend to it. Instead, try tending to compassion, calm, steadiness, and love. Try tending to compassion, calm, steadiness, and love. Love, and I think this case both from the human perspective of the emotion of love, knowing how to take care of, to give that emotion that we all are familiar with, both from giving and receiving, but also tending to love in the uppercase L, as defined by Dr. Ernest Holmes as the self-givingness of spirit, whose desire is to create more of itself out of itself, and the only way it can do that is through you and through me. And the way that we can do that during these times is to not only namaste instead of shaking hands on the God in me, honor is the God in you, but to live from a namaste, to reach out to someone that may be at home and infirmed and afraid, to reach out to those who may need food in this time, to consciously give up 2 rolls of your toilet paper to somebody that may need it. And I'm saying that not tongue-in-cheek, pun intended, but to literally stop and ask yourself, how can I give today in a way that honors the God in each and every individual that is the same that is within me. To remember that at all times, the nature of the universe during this crisis has not changed. And it will not, because it can't. The nature of the universe as we know it in the power we call God is unfailing by nature. And so what's transpiring right now is just a correction of balance that's taking place. And within that, there are a lot of humans that are suffering. You may have been one, I may have been one, but it's important for us to remember that we're always at choice. Choice that not only just how we use our time, but how we react to what is happening. To remember that this is not happening to us, but for us. Well, for us to do what? To become more spiritually awakened. That's what. To remember deep within our soul that all is well, because we are one with the only thing that there is. In class Thursday night, as everyone came in for class, and it was Thursday evening at 7:15, and it had been raining, and many had been in traffic, and it was everything that you would think was transpiring. And from the meditation, I reminded them that all is well. And I said, now take a deep breath. Exhale in your hand. And go to the next dimension and remember, all is well. And then to take a deep breath and exhale into your elbow. And remember, all is well. And then take a deep breath in. And just exhale. And remember, all is well. And as you're experiencing this right now, what you realize also interconnected. I need to stop for a second. Are we there? Okay, do we need a battery, you think? Okay, all right. So once we stop and breathe and become more spiritually awake, then what are we to do? Well, it's important for us to know that not only are we become more spiritually awake, faith, not fear, to be more engaged in life, to not be disconnected from life, to be more compassionate in life, not more disconnected, to be more nurturing in life, to be wise, not foolish, to be smart, not dumb, to be prayed up, and to be open to the possibilities that exist in life. And to remember that as we're open to possibilities and being a consciously awake, practicing metaphysician, as you just experienced, life shall change. And to remember who you are. To remember who you are. Well, who are you and who am I? That which has never changed, and it's this. You're an intelligent being of light, one with the creative force of life, imbued with intelligence and wisdom, and because of that, you have the ability to choose how you show up as a participant in the co-creation of your reality, which is the reality of all of ours. To remember that the virus has just reminded us of this in a unique way. There's a Bible quote that I'm going to share with you right now that I think also helps us during this time, and it's from Isaiah 41:10. And it's, so, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Now, if you're some really radical metaphysician, some of that may have flipped you out a little bit, but don't let it. Let's interpret it. It's just saying to us, do not fear. I, the infinite power, the presence, the unfailing nature of the divine, is with you. Not just now, always. It was with you as you when you came into this field of expression called life, and it will be with you as you move on. And it goes on to say, for I am your, in this case, G-O-D. If you don't like that word, pick another one. It says, I will strengthen you and help you, meaning that once you turn to the power within, its nature already is peace, power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom. Let it rise up and remind you when you're ready to be reminded of who you are, and in so doing, you'll become more personally self-empowered and choose in a way that will reflect those natures. And it says, as I strengthen you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. What does it mean by righteous? Just simply meaning extending those qualities that exist as it within and as you. This week, one of the things that has brought me to becoming more and more clear of who I am as a practicing metaphysician is to reread the principles that were put together of the Science of Mind philosophy by Dr. Ernest Holmes. And I think that by listening to them, it gives us the opportunity to remember why we resonate with this teaching. Not out of arrogance, not out of fear, but to just listen to them in a way to say, yes, I align with that. And to know that because they've been spoken Sunday after Sunday after Sunday after Sunday after Sunday after Sunday for years and years and years in churches, if you'd like to call them that, or centers or environments that teach this philosophy, faith, and way of life, as well as have been printed in the Science of Mind magazine, every single publication, which is a monthly publication since 1927. So what I'm saying to us is that every time they've been spoken, they have been in imprint into the subconscious of mind itself, which we're all connected to. And so all that we need to do in this very moment is to open ourselves up to resonate with that energy of where they have been spoken into mind, and let that be the foundation that buoys us into this next expression in life. And here's what they are. We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. We believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. We believe that heaven is within us, and that we experience this heaven to the degree that we become conscious of it. We believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. For we believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest good, the highest God, and the innermost God is one God. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with this indwelling presence. We believe that the universal spirit, which is the divine, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. We believe in the healing of the sick and the control of conditions through the power of this mind. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the givingness of life to all. We believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that the life of all is God. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, I find it comforting to hear that, because it reminds me of a spiritual truth of we are at choice. We're at choice to remember who we are, and we are at choice to remember why we were drawn into this teaching. Hearing these words and stating them out loud for me is that when we believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all, seems like a very lofty idea. And yet, the only way for that to be revealed is that for you and I to believe it, and then to practice it, and then to believe it, and then to practice it. This week in class, we were looking at beliefs, and Ernest Holmes defines belief as thoughts with emotion attached. That's how you develop your beliefs. So today I invite you and I encourage you to ask yourself, what are your thoughts? Not just about the coronavirus, not just about the stock market, not just about our politics, but what are your thoughts about life? What are your thoughts about how can you show up and make a difference today in the world of effect? What we know is the only way that we can make a difference in the world of effect is by tending to our consciousness first. And then using our hands and our hearts and our tongues to reach out to humanity and to extend the good that we have. Let today be the day that we plant a seed of goodness in our heart, in the law, in life, and trust and know with every fiber of our being that the infinite law of the universe must bring to us the fulfillment of that seed and make it inform in the universe. Why? Because that's what it does. It always has, and it always will. And more than likely, each and every one of you is in this room because at some time in your life, you've done that. And what's important to remember today and tomorrow and the next day and the next and the next and the next is if it has ever done it once, it will always do it. Because that's its nature. It cannot fail. So the question is, can you? Yes. By not using it. By not remembering who you are. But that's not a failure. It's just simply a moment of being forgetful. Now, I'm currently 60 years old. I'm forgetful every now and then. How about any of you? So let's just forgive ourselves for that and be a bit kinder and remember that it's not about what we forget, but it's what we remember. And it's important to remember that because we have the ability to start anew, that we get to start right now. Also in our class, when we were looking at doing the work of a mystic, I shared this, and I think it's important for us to look at it right now. When do I start? Where do I start? Well, the answer is start now. Start where you are. Start with fear. Start with pain. Start with doubt. Start with hands shaking. Start with the voice trembling, but start. Start and don't stop. Start where you are with what you have. Just start. I invite you today to find a way to set up reminders for yourself as you begin to navigate life from here forward of who you are. Personally, for me, I have reminders on my phone that pop up every 2 hours. There's one that pops up at 9:55 a.m. daily that says, "My true self leads me to an inspired life." At 11 o'clock, one pops up and says, "My beliefs enhance my life." At 2 o'clock, it pops up and says, "And I'm powerful and a vital part of the creation of my life." I do that because I want to remember who I am as a spiritual being and what I'm here to be and do in life, not because of what's going on. I'm here to do and to be this in life. Topher Key says, "I still believe that love and compassion are the best weapons against fear and uncertainty. If you can help, then help. It's simple. We all need each other." Let's remember that today and continue to give. Thank you. And so now is the time that you can ask questions, that if you have them, I'd like to encourage that. We have a 10-minute window on our schedule for that. Yes, Wendy. So I need you to just hit me with the question, and I'll repeat it, and off we'll go.
This experience we're having, and it's a situation which calls for being separate from one another.
Uh-huh.
It's making me feel separate from myself,
Okay.
and it's very uncomfortable.
Okay.
And I'm disoriented by it, and I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
So what I'm hearing you say is that in this world that we're living in, because we're being instructed to isolate, right, that what's coming up for you is a feeling of isolation, not from others, but from yourself, right? And that's causing you angst, right? Yes. So I'm not going to, this answer is not to make you laugh, all right? Go to the nearest mirror, look in the mirror, and sing, "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine," and then let it shine. And I'm serious about that, because you notice how that just changed? So even in a moment when you do that, there's nobody going to be there to hear you sing it, whether it's on key or off key, or whether you're doing it in the tub, clothed or not, right? So nobody's going to know what's going down unless you have your phone up and you're recording it. But what you can also do in that moment is remember that that light is within you. It's your choice to let it shine. But you also now have the experience, through experiential learning, a great tool of learning that we've shared where we all sang it together. So you can feel the presence of each individual that did this. And I will go even further to say that there will be people that either is watching this live now that sang along, or will watch it later and sing along, and that energy makes its footprint on the subconscious mind as well. So it's there to support you. Very good question. You're welcome. And then on a different level of that, reach out. I was leaving Gelson's yesterday. You guys will find this funny. I wasn't looking for TP, I was looking for marrow bones from a dog. Like, that was what was really important. She's driving me nuts being isolated with her. She's got so much energy, right? So the parking lot was crazy, and I was walking by, and this woman says, she's like, "Well, you seem happy." And I said, "Excuse me?" Like, I was in my head. And she goes, "What's going on in your head?" I said to her, "Do you really want to know?" And she goes, "Yes, I'm trying." I looked at her and I said to her, "What the world needs now is love." And I was just seeing in my head, that's what was going on, as the car almost ran over me and the bus wouldn't stop. Like, we can either live at the world of effect or not, you know? And I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back, but the other thing I did yesterday, I called members of the church. I called I tracked him down. He's changed his mobile number, right? But to me, that supports me in this time, right? Like, check it out. You okay? Like I said to him, "You okay? I haven't talked to you. I've missed you. I want to make sure you're okay." Then I won't tell you what he said. He was a very staunch metaphysician, but he was a little arrogant too. But anyway, yes. So yes, I expected it. So, and I had talked to his niece earlier. I knew what was coming. So, all right. Anyone else? Questions, comments? Yes.
This whole thing right now has brought some wonderful, wonderful things into my heart.
Great.
So this to me, it's not a blessing, but this to me, I mean, I'm reaching out, I'm talking to people, I'm sending out more love, even to strangers.
Great.
That happened, that this man thanked me, and may I take you
I don't mean to cut you up, but I just need to share online what people. So what Sherry is sharing with us is that she has seen lots of good that comes out of this based on how you show up in life, right? And you're paying it forward. Yes. There's a question somebody has that you're not asking. I know it. Okay. So, I'm sorry, what? Okay, good. Well, let's just breathe. Let's just breathe together for a moment. And so let's just breathe in life itself. Trusting that what we're inhaling is restoration. It's vitality. It's health. And it's strength. And our musicians are going to bless us with another song. You can stay in meditation with your eyes closed as you hear it if you like.
Love is magic. Love is my decision. Not this song. You want another song? Oh, sure.
So I know. So I threw the schedule off. Sorry. I'll just read out. When you didn't have the questions, you threw me. Time blocking. So what we're going to do right now is I just want to tell you what's going on here at the center, and then we're going to do our collection, and then we will do the other song. And so the board will be meeting today after the service briefly to make some decisions around collectively meeting or not. It's a very, 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 very strong possibility. Certainly next Sunday and maybe the Sunday after that, it will be virtual only, just based on guidance that's been given. The building is certainly, the synagogue is doing that, and many others are. So I invite you to be aware of that. We're looking at how we will do that service itself. There'll certainly be messages coming from me, but I'll send out an announcement to everyone to let you all know what we're doing. That if for some reason you're not getting our emails, make sure you sign up on that list, all right, so that you get it. And then we'll also be communicating through social media as well. And Rob and I will look at ways to keep getting information out through social media. Class right now is scheduled to still take place on Thursday night. I'm assuming dance class is probably canceled. Sandy, do you know? It didn't happen yesterday or Friday. So you'll just be aware of that, of how that's going to look, and we'll let you know. I want to remind you, as I did in our communication yesterday, to please keep your financial support in mind and in play here for the center. Interesting times we're in, and the business itself still goes on, and so all that you give consciously is deeply appreciated and put to great use here. Yes, and I'll be happy to talk with anyone more about that if you'd like to know. We do, our weekly newsletter continues to go out on Tuesday, and that will continue to do so. So please watch for that. A reminder that you can access all information for us through our website, which is csl-la.org, or through our social media sites, which is Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles on Facebook, and the same on Instagram, as well as, if you don't have the app yet, get the app in the App Store. We've just tweaked that so you can go in and fill out to do spiritual mind treatments. All of our meditations that you can access are archived there. You can also go on our YouTube channel and see all of our services that have taken place in the last year or more. So there's tons of information that you can access through the technological world if we're not meeting in person. And just know that that's the case. I want to give a big thank you to if you'll hold your applause until the end, but a big thank you to Jim Evering. I started to say Reverend Jim Evering. this morning who took you on a journey of meditation upstairs. Thank you to Connie Schneider, who is working both our welcome table and our board member on duty. A big thank you to Matt this morning for not only illuminating us with the candles, but for filling your coffee and your beverages this morning. And please let him do that. We've made the decision that that's best. There will not be food today, and that is what it is. A big thank you to Travis Smith and Jesus Ernesto Reyes for setup and audio. Thank you to Rob Hensley, who is doing our Facebook Live today and now working in the office part-time with me as well. A huge thank you to our musicians, Pete, Andy, and Leah. We love having you guys here today. They circumvented my decision and applauded anyway. So we were at the end, so I guess we got it there. So just know that you're cherished and treasured during this time, and that we are here for you as a spiritual community. Even if we can't come together face to face, we're here for you. One of the things I want to remind you is that if you are going through something or you're having a challenging time, please reach out to us or a practitioner, as well as if you know of someone. Know that that's the case, and we're here to support you the best way that we can during this time and always. And so with that, it's time for our conscious giving. I'd like to invite up to the area. We probably have one or two of our collectors today, ushers. I think that will work. The ways that you can support us financially is through cash or check here with Jesus or Sherry. And then the other ways are through electronically. You can go to our website, csl-la.org, and click on Donate, which is a big tab that pops up there, or the app in the App Store. And that's all very much welcome. Or if you want to use a credit card, you can see Connie in the back. So I invite you to take what you're giving and place it close to your heart right now. In our teaching, we believe that we live in a universe of abundance. There's no effect in the world that can change that. And so just as we experience God to the degree that we become conscious of it, that's the same of our financial abundance, of our prosperity. And so I know for each of us today that as we give from the heart, we do so with love. We do so understanding the nature of reciprocation. And so what we give returns to us multiplied abundantly. This isn't hocus pocus. It's not magic. It's just the nature of the law of the universe. And so as we release this, we do so with a deep sense of faith that all is well. And we say together, and so it is. The song that Andy will now play is Love Is My Decision, and you have the lyrics on your handout. Please feel free to sing along.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, Source will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now.
Yes, big thank you to our musicians. And to Travis, who's Johnny on the spot, fixing problems when they come up. Travis Smith, yes. All right, so I invite you to close your eyes, and let's close with meditation. All is well. We see those words flashing before our optic screen as we look into the back of our eyelids. All is well. Hearing the voice of Angel, our beloved child in the back. We let that voice of the divine be a reminder to us of our responsibility as we navigate our humanity, to do everything in our power to leave the world a better place for the next generation. It matters not whether there are biological offspring. All of life is our spiritual connection. And so hearing the joy that it's emanating from this delightful being, knowing it's no mistake her name is Angel. We let this connect to our soul and let it be a reminder as we go about all that is in front of us to live with compassion, to extend our hand of giving, to consciously treat others the way that we would want to be treated ourselves, and then to treat ourselves the same way. And to remember to let this little light of mine shine, shine, shine. Namaste. With love and respect, have a great day. Thank you.
Cared much for moonlit skies. I never winked back at fireflies. Now the stars are in your eyes. I'm beginning to see the light. I never went in for afterglow or candlelight on the mistletoe. Now that you turned the lamp down low, I'm beginning to see the light. Used to ramble through the park, shadow boxing through the dark. Then you came and caused a spark. That's a 4-alarm fire now. I never made love by lantern shine. I never saw rainbows in my wine. Now that your lips are burning mine, I'm beginning to see the light. Used to ramble through the park, shadow boxing in the dark. Then you came and caused a spark. It's a 4-alarm fire now. I never made love by lantern shine. Never saw rainbows in my wine. Now that your lips are burning mine, I'm beginning to see the light. Yes, I'm beginning to see the light. I'm beginning to see the light. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.